The morning after? 3 weeks? 6 weeks? 15 weeks? 6 months? 9 months? After birth? When is the right time to have an abortion? So, when does life begin? Is it when the daddy sperm hits the mama egg? Does life begin at conception? Or does life begin when the baby, the fetus, could live on his or her own outside of the comforts of the mama's belly? Or is it after the mama has birthed the fetus at 9 months or the baby, and the baby, she or he, takes a breath? Is that when life begins? It didn't happen that way for me. I went to Walmart and I had an apple, and next thing you know, there was a baby growing inside of me. I didn't do nothing to have that done to me. I didn't do nothing. It came from an apple. The apple seed did it to me. I couldn't tell you how mine happened. I went to a bar one day and I had me a little bit of Jack Daniels. And next thing I know, there was a baby growing inside of me. I think it was Jack Daniels who impregnated me. I did. I did. I had some Jack Daniels, and now I'm with child. Hello, friend, and welcome to The Conservative Poet. My name is Amania. Here on the channel, I do political commentary, reactions. I throw some humor, some parody in there to drive home the crazies that we're seeing in the society. So, if that is something that interests you, then I would love it if you would stay a while. And I would appreciate it if you would communicate with the video. You can give it a thumbs up or you can give it a thumbs down. You can comment. You can also subscribe if you would like. And all of that helps with the YouTube algorithm to push this video out there so other people can hear the message and get involved. So I thank you, and I will say God bless you, and I will see you in this video. So it's my body and it's my choice. But when does that actually take place? When does that start, right? My body, my choice. So let's talk a little bit about this. How pregnancies happen. Let's talk about it. How does pregnancies happen? So in the simplest form of it, boy meets girl, and boy and girl decide, hey, you know, why don't we do a little something, something? Let's do a little something, something, let's do a little something, something. And so, whether that's, in their home, at your place, my place, the basement, the bar alley, the bar hotel, wherever this act is going to take place. And again, friends, this is an act that happens between human beings, one being male and one being female. And so everybody's got this scratch, right? They've got this itch that they need scratched. And so, and they take it upon them to do the deed, do, to do the do. Yeah. So we get it together, friends, and sometimes there's such a rush to scratch the itch that, well, nobody puts on any protections, right? No condom goes into play. We don't put on the old rubber. We don't cover up the old one-eyed snake, right? The old one-eyed snake. We put no covers on that. And if you know what the one-eyed snake does, that one-eyed snake, once it goes in for the scratch, it gets excited and it lets out some juices, some fluids, a little sperm, a little semen is what it lets out. Now, everybody's in the heat of the moment and, we're getting ready to do the do. And our friend, the one-eyed snakes, enters into an open vagina. That's the woman. She has the vagina. Opens it up, and the one-eyed snakes enters into her vagina, or maybe sometimes her mouth. But I don't think the baby can come if it goes through the mouth, right? Somebody tell me in the comments, can the baby come in through the mouth? If it's a BJ, can the baby come in through that way? I don't know. Any event. The woman opens up her legs, and the one-eyed snake enters. And so she has something, eggs. And so his semen, his sperm travels and it connects to her egg. Right? And right then and there, something happens called conception. Right then and there. A life is hatched. Everybody pulls away. Oh, God, that was great. Thanks, friend. I'll see you in another lifetime. And everybody goes their way. Everybody goes their way. That was great. Thank you. And a few months, a few weeks goes by, and all of a sudden, our girl with the vagina, who accepted the one-eyed snake and his semen, now there's a little human in there growing. And she's like, oh my God. What happened? Where did that come from? Well, friend, it came from that interlude you had with the one-eyed snake. And so now you have created a human. You and your guy have now co-parented a human. And so now you say, well, golly, I was just having a little fun. I wasn't thinking about no babies and pregnancies and all these things. I wasn't, yeah, we weren't doing all that. We was just scratching the old itch, right? We were just scratching the itch. But now that itch has left a scab, right? Who's responsible? Well, it's growing inside of you. But what happened is the one-eyed snake brought his own DNA into your egg that has its own DNA. And now the two of you connected and you've created a whole new DNA. So now we've got 3 DNAs working. That means we've got 3 human beings at work here. His DNA, your DNA, and the DNA that was created between the two of you. It's a human, right? That's how we started. That's how I got here. That's how you got here. Because 2 people got together and they brought their DNAs together and then they created another DNA, which is you, right? And so now they say, well, I'm not prepared to take care of another DNA. I'm not prepared to take care of another person. So we'll just go and have it aborted. We will just terminate that DNA. We will just go to the clinic and we'll take care of it. We will lay upon our backs. It's like a sacrifice. No. We're going to lay on our backs and I'm going to just lay there and I'm going to have you go in here. When I was having that little fun and, that one-eyed snake went in there, it was kind of nice. And it's the same process. You're going to lay on your back again, unless you were in the alley getting it in that form, which is not pretty good. Yeah. Or you were in the car sitting on top of it, getting it in that way. Then, but in this scenario, you're going to lay on your back now. And the same place that one-eyed snake entered, now a machine is going to go in, right? And it's going to yank the other DNA out of you. And we're going to crush it, obviously. We're going to crush it as much as we can. Crush it. We're going to crush it, right? We're going to break its little neck. We're going to break its skull. We're going to pull its arms out. We're going to crush it. We're going to crush the little DNA, and we're going to get it out of you. In some instances, they may maybe melt it away. Can they melt it away? Would that be like chemicals to melt it away? Like you're literally melting it away. Like, oh gosh, we're melting away the DNA. Maybe that's how they get rid of it. But any event, you go in and you say, I want it out of me, and I want it out of me now. And so they do that. They pull it out of you. Is that death? Or is that just removing the DNA? What is it? Is it death or not? So that begs the question, when does life begin? Friend, if you are stressed out from the conversation that we are having today, I have something that's going to help ease your stress. It is my new line of candles, patriotic candles. Burn them and relieve your stress. This one is sage and lavender. And when I tell you it smells wonderful, it smells wonderful. So pick one up today, or pick up a couple, because I have 5 different scents, and you can burn your stress away. Give some to friends, because as you know, sharing is caring. And so if you're stressed out about what's happening in the society and what you're seeing in the community and what you're seeing in this world, and if you need some relief, then your friend's going to need some relief too. So go to orlandopatriot.com and pick yourself one of our amazing candles and burn your stress away. So, My Body, My Choice really starts at the stage of deciding how you're going to present your body in this situation, because your body, your choice tells me that it's my body. I'm choosing to go into a sexual encounter with maybe a boyfriend, maybe a stranger, because now sex is liberated. We can do it morning, noon, and night with whomever. It's no longer sacred with the confines of marriage. And I'm speaking as a sinner here, who's done it many times, never been married, and I do have a child. So, yes, my body, my choice. And so, at the time of that moment, your body had a choice to enter into a sexual escapade and get your itch scratched, right? And it's upon both to take responsibility before we actually do the do, to say, hey, we need some protection here. We need to protect, because we don't want to create another DNA, because we're not prepared to deal with that. I know right now it's hot. I know right now we're in the moment. I know right now the heat is on. The heat is on. But a cooler head should have prevailed and says, you got some condoms? um, birth control, um, maybe the old pull-out method, something before we got involved, before this happened. That's where your body, your choice comes in. It's not after. It's not after. It's then. How do I protect my body? Because it's eventually it's the woman's body who's going to have to carry the seed, right? Because once the sperm extracts from the one-eyed snake, girl, you carry the responsibility. So I would say, in the heat of the moment, it's you, the girl, you, the woman, you, the female, you, the vagina, who has to say, hold up, wait a minute, my body, my choice. I need to protect my body from your choice. Okay? I'm going to have to protect my body. And if there is no protection, then I'm going to have to say, friend, I'm going to rope up my legs. I'm going to shut them down tight. I'm going to cross them up. And I'm going to say no, because it's my body, my choice. You ain't getting none of this today. You ain't getting none of this today, because we're going to protect our body. It's our body, our choice. We're going to protect our body. We're going to protect our vagina from the evil one-eyed snake. Well, it ain't so evil. Not at all. So in my neck of the woods, there is an amendment that's going to be going on the ballot for the 2024 elections. And it is Amendment 4. And we're going to take a look at some of the writings in reference to Amendment 4 and what this means. So there have been other states that has put this amendment on their ballots, and they have passed. I can't think of the states right now off the top of my head, but I know there's been a few of them that has passed it. And now it has come home to roost in Florida. And so this is where we are, Amendment 4. I'm going to share my screen so we can look at some of the pieces of it. And so I am on the side of voting no on Amendment 4. And there's also another bill, I'll throw that in real quick. It is the marijuana bill. That's going to be on the ballot as well. So in this case, I would say here is the vote no on 3. And that's marijuana, because if you get some of this marijuana in you, you might end up getting yourself knocked up. So vote no on 3. And we have Amendment 4, which we're saying vote no on 4, because if you get yourself knocked up, this Amendment 4, says that it can be terminated at any point, at the conception stage, at the middle stage, at the life stage, after the life stage. So it is vote no on 4, and we're going to break down that amendment right now. So here we are on the website of the Vote No on 4, or I should say Too Extreme for Florida website. So we're going to just look at this amendment. So here it is, deceptive and extreme. So here it is, the language. Amendment 4, it's not what it seems, and it's way too extreme. Okay, so here is the title. Somebody went through and broke this down to really highlight all of this. Amendment 4 says amendment to limit government interference with abortion. So, right there, one of the things, as we know here on our right, we want to limit government in business. Yeah, we don't want a whole lot of government handling in our business. But here, it's kind of the flip. And so when people like myself, people who are conservative, and they see limited government interference with abortion, they say, oh, yeah, I'm on board with that. And so it's very deceptive for our side of the aisle, because this is how they've gotten people to sign petitions in reference to this amendment. And so the title alone is very deceptive. And so here somebody, they says, should say amendment to legalize full-term abortion for any age without parental consent in Florida. So young people can go in, get themselves, they go tango with the one-eyed snake, and then they come out with a human inside of them. And so they can go and remove that human without their parental consent, right? So that's where we are there. And then summary. No law shall prohibit, penalize, delay, or restrict abortion before viability or when necessary to protect the patient's health as determined by the patient's healthcare provider. So, I mean, you're pregnant, you're not a patient. Okay, since the beginning of time, pregnancy comes along with some things. It's got some side effects, right? From the day Eve gave her first baby's birth, there has been issues with it. And so it says here, it's also not defined. Even mental stress could qualify for the patient's health exception. Big loophole right here. And then on this side, it says, so this amendment eliminates all limitations and regulations on abortion, even safety regulations that protect women. And then here, before viability, not defined anywhere in the amendment before viability. So this is a loophole, the or. Yeah, you can implement anything in there. And then we will read this part. Oh, this here, healthcare, health provider. It says, wow, any healthcare provider, not just doctor, could determine viability or exceptions for patients' health. It could even be a non-medical staff member at an abortion clinic. Big loophole makes limitation meaningless. So let's read here. This amendment does not change the legislature's constitutional authority to require notification to a parent or guardian before a minor has an abortion. I tell you, friends, what we really should be doing is teaching our minors not to be involved sexually, so that minors doesn't have to make choices of life and death. How about we keep our minors out of the adult business of having sex? That's how I would say it. We need to horn and cover our minors. But unfortunately, that's not where we are. Unfortunately, that's not happening, because minors continue to be adults and have adult activities. But when it comes to adult responsibilities, minors are now minors. right? And I would have to say this here. It is at the feet of the parents, because we can't blame our teachers, we can't blame our schools. We have to parents have to take responsibility for your minor, and we have to teach them about saving themselves for marriage, where they will not end up in these kind of situations. And if you're a minor and you end up in this kind of situation, then we have to talk about adoption, not abortion, but adoption when it comes to this conversation of minors. Or we marry them off and say, you minors decided to do this, then minors, you become married and you raise your children, and we, the parents, will be behind you to help you get there. Marriage, adoption, not abortion. That's my rant on that. And the next one says notification to a parent. So this eliminates current parental consent laws. So parents could be told their daughter is going to have an abortion, but unlike every other medical procedure, could not have to give their consent beforehand. So they could tell the parent, look, your daughter's getting ready to go in here and exterminate her DNA, and you can't do nothing about it. And you can't be told about it in advance. Like, it's happening, you just have to deal with it. And so, again, parents need to become parents of their teenage children. So, vote no on 4. And here we go. Why vote no on Amendment 4? So, Amendment 4 would repeal parental consent laws in Florida. Why vote no on Amendment 4? Amendment 4 allows doctors to be removed from the decision-making process, right? Why vote no on Amendment 4? Amendment 4 provides no definitions in full context of the amendment. It doesn't give you all the information. It's not very clear. So sign up to stop the extreme Florida abortion amendment. Vote no on 4. 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 Seen that? Heard that? Good. So at any point from conception to that first breath, any point in there, if death comes, that is a sacrifice. It is a child sacrifice. So we're going to leave it there. Vote no on 4 and vote no on 3 if you're in the great state of Florida. I say, God bless you and keep you and your family and your babies. And ladies, protect your vagina from the one-eyed snake. Because when you do, there is no my body, my choice to be made when it comes to abortion. My body, my choice starts with you before an abortion. God bless you and keep you, and I'll see you in another video.